guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to another video. Now today we are back with the Championship predictions. I'm joined by Jamie. How you doing, mate?
Not too bad, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad after that late equaliser against Derby County last night. Yes! Yes! Oh my gosh, what a goal! Come on! What a hit! Come on! Come on! We are recording this on the Wednesday afternoon, so we don't know the Wednesday night scores yet. That's my score against Harry. Like I said, I don't know what it is yet, and that is the scores against the guests. But let's get straight into this weekend's fixtures, starting with Barnsley versus Bournemouth. Now, Barnsley, they've been alright. They've been better than most teams would have expected. And Bournemouth, they're doing alright, but they did lose in the week to Preston. I think Barnsley are a tough team when you go to their ground, so I think they'll give Bournemouth a good game. I think I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. What do you reckon?
My gut instinct, Bournemouth being a Premier League team, I reckon they're going to win 2-0.
2-0 to Bournemouth, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they have just come down from the Premier League, so I suppose you can expect that from them. The next game then is Reading versus Nottingham Forest. Reading in a bit better form after that little losing run, going up against Nottingham Forest that are struggling this season. I think Reading are just going to have a bit too much for them. I'm going to go for Reading 1-0. What do you reckon?
I'm going to agree with you there, 1-0, Reading being much higher than Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, Reading are much higher in the table. The next game is between Brentford and Blackburn Rovers, two teams trying to break into that top six that have had a decent season so far. Brentford, I'd expect them to be up there this season. Blackburn Rovers as well, they scored loads of goals. It's an interesting game. I just think Brentford have got a little bit more about them, especially at home. I'm going to go for Brentford 2, Blackburn 1. What do you think?
I'd say they're pretty similar in the sense of how they play. I'm probably going to go in 1-1, give them an interesting game. 1-1, yeah, okay, that's a good prediction. The next game then is between Bristol City and Birmingham City. I think both teams play quite well. They're both stable Championship teams and they're both capable of grinding out results. That's why I think this one might grind out to be a 0-0 draw. So I'm predicting a 0-0 draw. Either team could pinch this, but I'm going for 0-0. Well, I think Birmingham are just heading towards mid-table this season. I reckon they're going to finish around mid-table, and Bristol seem to be the sort of team that just keeps getting better. Yeah. So I'm going to say just 1-0 Bristol. 1-0
to Bristol.
Yeah.
Okay. The next game then is Coventry City going up against Rotherham United, who are just below us in the table. A massive game. Coventry City are now 4 games unbeaten. That's really, really impressive for a team that's just come up. Rotherham United, they got off to a decent start, but they're just falling away a little bit at the moment. And they seem like a team that, when they get into the Championship, they just struggle. I think we're both going to be in the bottom 6 or 7 this season. Yeah, it's a hard one to predict. When we played last year in League One at St Andrews, it was a 1-1 draw. So I'm going to go for the same, 1-1 draw.
Well, I'm a bit worried because when we played Rotherham, they gave us a really good game. I'm worried. I'm going to say 2-1 to Rotherham because they are a very good team, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, okay, 2-1 to Rotherham. Oh no, what do you think of that, Cov fans? I hope we don't lose that, to be honest.
Don't hate me, don't hate me.
Moving on to the next game then, which is Huddersfield Town versus Queen's Park Rangers. Two teams that, in my opinion, will probably finish in around mid-table. They both seem to struggle to get into that top 6, and I don't think either of them will be in danger of getting relegated this season. I think this will be an even game, both teams to score, but I'm just going to back QPR. I haven't backed them that much this season, so I'm going to go for Huddersfield 1, QPR 2.
Well, same theory as the Birmingham. I think that QPR are going to be mid-table when I think that Huddersfield just declining a little bit. So I'm going to say 1-0 to QPR.
Ooh, 1-0 to QPR. Okay, that's an interesting one. The next game then is Millwall versus Derby County, and Millwall probably trying to get into the top 6 this season against Derby, who are still bottom of the table. We've just played them. What did you think of Derby?
Oh, they gave us a good game. You could tell that they were Championship experienced, but I think Millwall are really good fighting.
Yeah, I think so. I think Derby is struggling for confidence. I'm going to go for 1-0 to Millwall. What do you reckon?
I'm going to go 2-0. I think Millwall are going to walk all over them.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I think Derby just struggling for confidence at the moment.
The next game then is Norwich versus Sheffield Wednesday. Norwich obviously struggling with loads of injuries, but they are still in and around that top end of the table. As for Sheffield Wednesday, under Tony Pulis, trying to grind out results. I could see this one heading for a 0-0 draw. I think Pulis will go there and shut up shop and grind out the 0-0.
I personally think there's too much of a difference between Norwich and Sheffield for Sheffield to succeed. I'm going to say 1-0 to Norwich because they are still top of the league.
Yeah, 1-0 to Norwich in that one.
Yeah.
Okay, the next game then is Preston versus Wycombe. Now, what a win for Preston on the Tuesday night, winning 3-2 at Bournemouth. It obviously went 3-0 up, and then there was a bit of a scale when Bournemouth started getting back into the game. Going up against a Wycombe team that they're okay, they're just sort of struggling to pick up the wins. I just think with Preston at home, they're going to win this one. I'm going to go for Preston 1, Wycombe 0.
If I were a Wycombe fan, I would be a little bit concerned. You know, just come up to the Championship and in relegation zone. We nearly had that scare ourselves, didn't we? So, I'm going to say 1-0 to Wycombe. Sorry, 1-0 to Preston.
Okay. Yeah, 1-0 to Preston then. Okay, so agreeing with me on that one.
Yeah.
The next game then is Swansea versus Luton Town. It's an interesting game. They're both doing pretty well. Swansea look like they could make the top 6 this season, and Luton Town, I've credited them for being better than what I expected this season. I think Luton will go there and get something. I'm going to go for Swansea 1, Luton 1.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you, it being a draw, but they are pretty equal teams, aren't they? So they might end up playing each other to the point that it's just 0-0. I'm going to go 0-0.
Yeah, okay, that's an interesting prediction. And the last game is Watford versus Cardiff City. We've played both of these. Watford, I've got to say, despite not playing amazing against us, know how to win games. And Cardiff, I wasn't particularly impressed with. But they're capable of getting a result. So it'd be an interesting game, this. I think Watford are just going to have too much for them. Watford 2, Cardiff 1.
Well, Watford beat us in the league when we played them, beat us 3-2. They're a strong team. They have Premiership League experience. You said Premiership then. And I'm going to say 2-0.
To Watford?
Yeah.
Okay, 2-0 to Watford. And that completes today's video, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you in the next Championship Weekly Predictions video. Peace out.